This world is not my home. I'm just a passing through. Have you sung that song in a while and actually meant it? If you haven't noticed, the world around us is in this constant state of panic over this virus. Just a few weeks ago, there was this massive toilet paper shortage. And you would think no one in the history of the world had ever had to go to the bathroom outside in the woods before. That Charmin has been in the world since the beginning of time. Right after the tree of life, Adam and Eve were given 2-ply for their hind ends. The news headlines, the reports, the online articles seem to be a never-ending reverb of scrambling to find a vaccine or some shortage of some hospital supplies or how many have been affected by the coronavirus, positive cases flattening the curve, the prevention of further spread. Then there are the numbers of the stock market as it continues to tank, and our economy, and our retirement funds, and assets, and everything is in the toilet right now with no toilet paper, and we're just all waiting to be flushed. It's just fear after more fear, and it's anxiety with the cherry on top, and whipped cream made of angst and nervousness and unease and apprehension and every other word the online thesaurus could come up with. And this is the state of the world. And it has truly changed all of us. And it's caused us to stop and to consider, or it should cause us to stop and consider, how have I shown that I have trusted in God? How have I shown that I trust God more? This whole thing has shown us the true color of our faith. It has shown us and continues to show us the ingredients that make up the trust that we say that we have placed in God. So what is that trust really made of? When all of my stuff is decreasing in value, when there is a change in my regularly scheduled programming of life, how have I been reacting to show that I trust God more? As a farmer, we still have grain in the bins. The price has tanked, and you can buy a bushel of corn, about 50 pounds of the stuff, for $3 right now. It was $4 at the beginning of the year. For all you deer hunters out there, now's the time to stock up. But the thousands of bushels of grain in those bins, what's in those bins right now is our operating budget for next year. It's how we pay for everything on the farm, and it ain't exactly drawing top dollar right now. It's losing value faster than a retirement fund. So don't think, oh, it's just another preacher out of touch with the reality of business and how things work and out of touch with the economy and simply quoting me verses of scripture. I'm getting hit hard just like everybody else. I have no idea when those prices are going to inch their way back up. The news reports keep coming in about how people have lost billions and billions of dollars. Now the country's economy is on the verge of a recession and collapse. And for many of the people in this world, that fear and apprehension of the unknown, the uncertainty of everything that is going on, has caused our blood pressure to go up. And we have movies in our heads of what we think is going to happen to us if this continues, or what will happen to us if this happens, and if this happens. And we want it to go back to the way it was before, when we had some kind of control, where we were more comfortable. And I want to talk to you Christians out there, those who claim to have Christ as their center when it comes to their life, those who claim to have Christ as their Lord, those who claim to believe in Him and trust in Him above everything else. Because these times have caused our anxiety to go up, and for some, it has caused their trust in God to go down. And some have had it disappear altogether. Our trust in God has been replaced by the uncertainty of what we thought we could control. Let me say that again. Our trust in God has been replaced by the uncertainty of what we thought we could control. I've been taught to work hard my entire life. It's biblical. If a man not work, neither should he eat. And though in my younger days I simply worked hard to buy myself more toys and trucks and TVs and things with throttles on them, I now work hard to provide for my family, to make sure they're taken care of in this life. Rarely has something happened which has taken that control out of my hands. And if something endangers what I have worked for or the provision that I want to give, I just work harder and for longer. I was born with clubbed hands and feet, and there were challenges I had to face and difficulties I had to overcome, even when working But I always knew that I would get over those hurdles no matter what pain it caused or how long I had to work, or I would die trying. I knew there would be a day that I could overcome as long as I kept to it. It might take months, it might take years, but I would put forth enough effort and strength, and I would get better and go farther and be stronger. I. And for me, there's always been a need to control or work to control the environment that is around me. Whether it's in physical activity or whether it's financial stability, I've always had a worst case scenario kind of thought process. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. If this happens, then I'll do this. If this happens, then I'm going to go over here and do this. In high school, I didn't have a girlfriend when prom came around, so I planned out the worst case scenario in my brain. If nothing else, I would be happy getting together with friends later on that night and playing some ball. But when something is truly out of your control, you know what we still desire? We still desire and crave to have that control. To control the variables that we truly cannot. We crave within ourselves the assurance of knowing that somehow, some way, I will be okay, I'll be safe, I'll be secure, that I will be strong enough to get through this, and that I, with white knuckles and all my might, will somehow lift whatever it is out of the way, and I will personally come out victorious. And the world applauds that kind of resilience. The world loves to hear a good story about that kind of inner strength and self-confidence and people creating this atmosphere of self-assurance. But the problem is God doesn't. This world is not my home to white-knuckle hold on to, which means my safety and my health and my comfort is not what I'm holding on to. Many Christians in this American culture have forgotten how to trust in God for provision, or even give Him credit for it. And instead, we have trusted in ourselves. We trust in the well-stocked supermarkets and online pickups. We've trusted in our filled-up freezers and refrigerators. We've trusted in the retirement funds that have been set up after decades of work behind us. We've trusted that we have made enough for our future years, for our future family to be secure by what we have personally accomplished, by our own power, by our own strength, by white-knuckling and getting to work. But have I truly trusted in God? Because this world is not my home. The things of this world, they are not my God. The stuff of this world, the safety and security that I've come to know over my lifetime, is not what I'm supposed to be living for and holding on to with all of my might. So take it all away. Take everything away. Our propane heated and cooled houses. Take away the comfort of having an abundance of food on the table, though the online pickup may have had to substitute an item that you may think is less desirable. Take away the cars we thought we could continue to pay for, with the job that we thought we would always have, the businesses we thought would never fail. Take away all the things that we have placed our trust and assurance in. And where has God been in your life? Have you truly been trusting Him? There are a lot of things happening in our families right now, our finances, our futures, that we did not think would ever be happening. Anxieties we thought we would never have. A lot of investments, retirement accounts, plans we had, they're not growing. They're not living and producing, they're dying. People we thought we would have for longer have now passed away. It's all been turned upside down, everything. And David says this in 2 Samuel chapter 23 and verse 5. Although my house not be so, although the environment of my life is not going like I want it to go, yet God has made with me an everlasting covenant, ordered all things, made them sure, for that is my salvation. Although God make my house not grow. Although God, make my house not grow. If you studied anything about David's house, King David's house, his family, everything in his house was not as it should be. There were personal tragedies, there were disasters, there were sins upon sins that were happening between that family. But there was something he was trusting in more than the safety and security of his house. We have grown very comfortable, almost an unchallenged comfort. Our personal safety, security, health has been just that. We have been secure and safe for so long, and now we are not. What has this exposed about you when it comes to what you've been trusting in and what you've been trusting in more? What has this revealed about you as having a hindrance in your life of trusting God more? Because this world is not my home. I'm just passing through.